You're watching Drake Wing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Guys and gals, Never here from Drake Wing Gaming, and some of you on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you on a Let's Play episode of Tian Wei. Anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, we're up, and let's go! Actually, let me pause it right here just to make sure it's recording sound. It is indeed recording sound. We can proceed. Anyway, let's jump right back in. Okay. Looks like he doesn't want to talk about it. Then I shouldn't ask him any further. But it seems Chrono is not busy anymore. Maybe I could ask him to check on my arm. Over here, Tex. Let me see your wound. It's like we both thought of the same thing at the same time. Before I could say anything, Chrono raised the situation by himself. Alright. I found a place and sat down with Chrono. He gently rolled up my sleeve and unwrapped the rolls of bandages on my arm. Like yesterday, he began carefully examining the state of my wound. I don't know why, but seeing Chrono so focused like this has its own elegance to appreciate as well. Not bad. The wound recovery is pretty quick. Finished with his inspections, Chrono released my hand. Do you still feel pain when moving your arm? Not really, but it's a little sore every once in a while. That's good. Seems like you recover fast. Your recovery speed is almost on par with Chen Hu's. I've been like this since I was young. Regardless of a demon kind like me or a current species, like you, our bodily structures still have similarities for some functions even after centuries of evolution. But to each person, our healing factors will still have minor differences depending on our species. I remember this also has certain elements related to acquired factors as well. Indeed, because all current species would secrete a large amount of self-healing factors when facing life-threatening danger. The more danger you face, the more factors would be produced. Over time, this group would possess a stronger healing factor than other people. And this medicine I brewed helps to accelerate your body to produce more healing factors. Under such conditions, your arm wound would heal faster on its own. That don't make sense why my wound's recovery has been so fast. Since it's scabbing already, I won't bandage it anymore. Just be careful with it while you're doing something. Don't worry, I'll be very careful. If you don't have anything more to do, could you help me with the cleaning up the clinic? Once this gentleman leaves, there shouldn't be any patients left for the morning shift. Chrono sat on the stool and stretched lazily. His thin black tail can be seen waving around behind him. So, you don't need to use any of these for the afternoon? I'm going to attend the appointments at other people's houses, since some can't really make the journey here to Tian Wei, and it's a bother for them, so I will have to do it myself. Then let's clean this place up together. With that, me and Chrono began to act. Not only did we put all the tools and equipment back to its original position, but we also had to sweep up the ashes from the burnt wormwood strips as well. During the cleaning, a snoring sound came from the sickbed nearby, and I saw the old man sleeping soundly in the middle of the warmth and heat. With the room becoming tidier, I noticed a robe in the corner of the room. When I began examining it in curiosity, this robe is... In front of me, a finely sewn gown from high-quality clothing materials before me, with green patterns sewn to its sides. This word is Yao. Medicine? But the size of this robe doesn't match Chrono's height at all. Does this belong to somebody else, then? What are you looking at? Oh, nothing. Chrono came over and stood next to me, staring at the gown hanging from the wall. I see you're getting distracted by this gown. If you like it, I don't mind giving it to you. It's too big of a size for me anyway, so I can't really wear it. It's nothing like that. I just thought this clothing has some fine craftsmanship. Compared to the one on me right now, far from it, I'd say. It's a pass in my eyes, though. Saying this, Chrono patted me on the elbow, signifying I shouldn't be lazing around and finish everything already. I didn't linger there any longer and turned to continue with the room cleaning. Soon, after finishing the room cleanup, the wormwood strip on the old man's navel was about to burn out. Chrono quickly removed the needles from him, and after moving the boxes from his body, the elderly thanked us. With the already packed prescription Chrono prepared, he handed the bag to the old man, and after a few reminders to take the medicine, we bid farewell to the last patient for the morning. Looking at the figure fading in the distance, and feeling gratified about finishing the morning work, we both took a loud exhale at the same time. This old grandpa is one of my regular patients. Long-term injuries from work and extremely poor living conditions have caused his body to deteriorate greatly. But at such an age of his, he can already retire and live his days in peace. So why the determination to work himself to the bone? Many of my patients' lifestyles here aren't quite rich and secured. This old man's the same. The royal capital's commodity prices are already quite high, so living on his wages alone is already good by itself. But he has a younger grandson at home, and to help his grandson go to school, he began to seek out jobs from all sorts of places. What about his child? At the least his child can... If so, this old man's life wouldn't be so harsh at all. That's why I said his life is extremely tough. He looked at the edge of the sky and took a sigh. A glint of sadness and hopelessness appeared in his eyes. According to him, his son went out with his partner to work, aiming to earn a large sum of money before coming back, but since then they never returned. At first, he'd still write a letter to give regards to the family, but after a year, no further news came. And the old man's wife had severe liver issues since last year, which was why we met back then. At the time, he was on the streets crying out for any doctor from the Yaoxing Hall to help him, but no one responded. I was passing by at the time and decided to do it. But by the time I found it, it was already too late. His wife's inner illness had already spread to the lungs and other internal organs. The best I could do was alleviate the pain of his wife's passing. Chrono. After hearing all the troubles the old man went through, I felt a pang of sadness and sympathy for him. But don't be mistaken, my medical skill is still, without any question, the best in G. It's just at the time it had already reached the point where I couldn't help anymore. I know. No matter whom it is, no matter how great of a person they are, they would always face a situation that they are helpless in. Chrono's no exception. No matter how skilled he is, he can only watch as his patients reach the end of their lives. That helpless feeling. How many times has Chrono gone through this? In his life during the times of his profession. Right now, the grandson and the grandpa are relying on each other. Under his effort, even though it's not the wealthy life they could have had, being able to avoid starvation, sleep well, and allow the grandson to go to school was enough for him. Maybe that's the happiness he seeks. At least his life right now is maybe what the elderly is expecting. No matter how difficult and painful the road is, if the dream is there, even if it is the smallest happiness in life, thinking about this, I could at least give the slightest smile at the ending of the story. Since we are finished with the tidying up here, I'm going to rest for a bit. I have no other jobs to do this afternoon. What about your lunch? Dried rations will do. Tonight is Chen Hu's big show. He'll be making all these extravagant promises of making a feast worthy of emperors and kings. Ha! After saying this, Chrono quickly adjusted the creases on his robe and turned to his room. If you are so hungry, go ask Sally for some steamed buns. But don't eat too much. As for the afternoon shift, you can handle that yourself. Right. I need to return to the parlor. Don't know whether Sally's finished or not. Bidding goodbye to Chrono, I slowly walked back to the parlor. The front yard is empty and has now lost the crowd from the opening since the morning. I entered the parlor and saw Sally there with her pink bushy tail swishing around as she tidied up the apparatus on the table. Are you still busy, Sally? With a flick of her ear, Sally turned around and greeted me with a smile. Great timing, Tex. You're back. I was beginning to think that something happened to you with Mosea. Not at all. I actually thought Mosea was quite, peaceful today. Ha! Told you so. He won't trouble you much. Are you still busy now? Maybe I can help you with the cleaning up here. No, it's no problem. Just some simple tidying up. I can do this by myself. That reminds me, wasn't there a delivery request this morning? That commission's demand is to deliver it by today. So I was about to ask Tex if you have anything planned this afternoon. No plans at all, and I don't know what to do either. Perfect, then please, help us deliver this package over the Northern District, Shingan Street, to Miss Wei Shuyan. Sally passed the box from the morning to me, and with it a small package of steaming yellow bun and a folded map. Sorry about this, there aren't specially prepared lunch today, so we have to give you this again. No problem, I'm satisfied enough to have something to eat, so I really don't mind at all. Besides, we're gonna have a feast tonight, right? Eh? How did you know? I just heard it from Colonel. Well, as long as you're okay with steamed buns. I should have issues with it. The buns from yesterday were really good. I was about to ask for a few extras. All good then. If you want to go to Shingan Street, you can walk there. Of course, you can also choose to go by carriage, which is totally faster. Naturally, it will cover the transport fee. Wait, am I the only one free to do this? Sorry, we have guests this afternoon too, and unfortunately Chen Hu and Bai Yu have their own jobs. Colonel is also out for the patient appointments, and Mosea has his own business to handle, which is why I have to entrust this with you. Alright then, maybe I can take the opportunity to wander about the streets of the royal capital. Don't wander too far, though. If you end up going near any slum areas, you might face some danger and troubles. Got it. I'll be sure to remember that. If you're prepared, it's time to go. Be careful on the way, Tex. Relax, I won't get lost with this map in my hand. You got lost, didn't you, motherfucker? Yep, he got lost. Where am I? After saying goodbye to Sally, I carried the package and left Tian Wei. On my way out, I chewed on my buns while looking at the map. After confirming the destination, Shingen Street, I began to envision a route in my head and walked on. But during the middle of the journey, I became infatuated by all the strange curiosities and interesting fascinations on the street side and began wandering around the marketplace. Who'd know that, after this little detour, I would end up losing my sense of direction? I lost my sense of direction after that little detour! As a canine current species, I feel like an embarrassment of my entire race! I looked down again at my royal capital map, only to have my eyes losing more of their luster with each look. Oh, goodness. Oh, bless me. I should have taken the carriage, then I wouldn't have landed into such an awkward situation. I sighed while standing in the midst of the busy street, regretting my hasty decision. But thinking back, maybe this isn't that terrible, since my plan yesterday was to wander the streets of the capital. Looking at the bright side, I managed to accomplish one of my goals in a roundabout way. Well, I'm out and about anyway. Maybe I should just take a look around and ask some random person for help if push comes to shove. I braced myself and quickly readjusted. At first glance, the street looked quite similar to the food street in Jizhou, but upon a closer look, I can notice many of the people were dressed in attires of extravagance and beauty, with their careful and delicate actions and grace in their attitude. Aside from the passer-by, the stalls on the sides of the streets are either selling jewelry of all sorts or foods of varying fascination. No matter which is which, these really allured me with their fragrance and exotic interest. No, don't be distracted. Don't repeat what happened in Jizhou again today. I calmed my mind, controlling my desire to spend voraciously. Not to mention, even if there's something I'm interested in buying, I don't have much on me anyway. I patted the almost empty money bag around my waist. Only the sounds of a few copper coins in it responded to my touch. These are supposed to be my transportation fee Sally gave me. After confronting the reality of the situation, I felt a sense of ease washing over me, since I don't have anything to lose. And with this playful state of mind, I walked onward. Now let's ask for directions from a random stall, then. Hello, sorry to bother you. Can I ask for the direction to Shingen Street, please? I randomly picked and asked the owner of a grilled food stall, without thinking much about their reaction, since these kinds of stalls are all over the street. Ah, what did you say? Sorry, I was asking where is Shingen Street? Boss, give me 3 grilled glutens. Alright, 3 grilled glutens coming right up. Before I could finish, a passerby appeared at my side, pushing me away. Well, other people's here to buy stuff. It would be polite to take up their spot. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all. I'm gonna go see Predator Badlands with my parents. Anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!